และสำหรับพระราชพิธีบรมราชาภิเษกสมเด็จพระเจ้าชาลส์ที่ 3 และสมเด็จพระราชินีคามิล่านี่นะคะที่จัดขึ้นในวันพรุ่งนี้ก็มีขั้นตอนที่ค่อนข้างที่จะละเอียดละออมากๆตัวดิฉันเองนะคะได้มีโอกาสไปพูดคุยแล้วก็สัมภาษณ์กับท่านเอกอัครราชทูตอังกฤษประจำประเทศไทยนะคะซึ่งท่านจะมาบอกเล่าเรื่องราวเหล่านี้ให้กับเราฟังค่ะเราจะมาพูดคุยนะคะกับเอกอัครราชทูตอังกฤษประจำประเทศไทยนะคะ His Excellency Mr. Mark Gooding สวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีครับ
สวัสดีค่ะ Oh you can speak Thai
a bit of Thai
influent
yes I try
yeah okay it's been an honor to be here today to interview you about the coronation of King Charles III and I think this is a very special occasion because King and Queen of Thailand. This is the first time to officially visit the UK. And I think people around the world are waiting for watching the broadcast on television. How about the coronation ceremony? Can you tell us the story?
Of course, yeah. I mean, this is a really exciting celebration for the UK and the wider world. This is our first coronation in the UK for 70 years. Our late Queen Elizabeth obviously died sadly last year. So this is for me, literally a once-in-a-lifetime event. It's the first time it's happened in my lifetime. And it's a real cause for celebration of the UK, our culture, our society, and our values, but also a very important moment for us to look ahead to the future positively. So the coronation, obviously we've got guests from around the world. I think nearly 200 countries will be represented with over 400 international VIPs, and we're absolutely delighted that His Majesty King Vajiralongkorn and Queen Suthida are able to attend, so we shall look forward to welcoming them. And there'll be events over the weekend. So the coronation itself, would it be useful if I described a little bit about what to expect?
Yeah.
Okay, well, on Saturday, 6th of May, the coronation will take place, and it's at Westminster Abbey. And this is the same venue that we've used for coronations in the UK since 1066.
1066.
So nearly 1,000 years, every coronation in the UK has taken place in Westminster Abbey, which is extraordinary. And King Charles III will be the 40th British monarch to be crowned in Westminster Abbey. So he's number 40 in that line. The activity will start on Saturday morning with the King and Queen Consort at Buckingham Palace. And the first thing that will happen is that they will go in a procession, a coronation procession, to Westminster Abbey, which is where the coronation will take place. And they will use the Diamond Jubilee State Coach, which is a coach and horses that was built actually in 2012 for the Queen's Diamond Jubilee, and that was built in Australia. So they will be transferred first of all to Westminster Abbey. And then the coronation ceremony itself will have a number of different stages. So the first thing that happens is what's called the recognition.
The recognition.
The recognition. So the Archbishop of Canterbury, who's leading the service, he will announce the King to the British public, so from Westminster Abbey. The second thing to happen is that the King takes an oath.
An oath?
He takes an oath, yes. And that oath is to uphold the law of the UK and the Church of England. And the third part is the anointing, it's called, and this is where the Archbishop of Canterbury anoints the King. It's the most religious part of the ceremony. So the Archbishop of Canterbury uses holy oil that's made in Jerusalem without using any animal products whatsoever. And this is a sort of religious part of the ceremony.
Yeah, that I heard that the anointing will not be allowed on broadcast, and why?
Well, this is the most sacred and religious part of the ceremony. So traditionally, this is seen as the moment that the monarch is in contact with God. Exactly. So it's never been. Obviously, actually, I think the coronation in 1953 was the first time we've ever had one televised. This is the second. But anyway, that part of it is behind a screen, so you won't be able to see it on television. But then the fourth part of the ceremony is called the investiture. And so this is the moment of coronation, if you like. So it will take place on a coronation chair, which has been used for 700 years. It's a wooden chair, a real sort of absolute emblem of coronations in the UK. And underneath that is the Stone of Destiny, which is a stone that's kept these days in Scotland and was basically used in the coronation of Scottish kings in the past. So that's the chair. You'll have the moment of coronation, which is when the king is crowned using St. Edward's crown, which is a magnificent a wholly gold crown. It's got over 400 gemstones on it, and it weighs 2 kilograms, so no one can wear it for very long.
Oh, fantastic.
This is the one moment at which King Charles will wear St Edward's crown. So that will be the moment of coronation when he becomes, when he's crowned king. And also in this part of the ceremony, that he's presented with a golden orb, which symbolizes his moral authority. He's presented with a scepter, which symbolizes the justice and the rule of law in the UK. So that is all called the investiture. And after that, he is enthroned, meaning he takes his place on the throne. And there is also homage, where traditionally people would pay homage to the king. And this year there'll be more an invitation from the Archbishop of Canterbury for people to pay public homage and swear their allegiance to the king. So that's the ceremony in Westminster Abbey. And after that, both the king and the queen will take the gold state coach back to Buckingham Palace, which is this is actually a much older coach. Magnificent procession will take place. We're taking them back to Buckingham Palace. So that will conclude the coronation official events, if you like. But then later in the weekend, on Sunday, we've got a coronation concert, which will have some of the world-renowned musical
Katy
icons.
Perry,
all sorts. And then there's a big volunteering event as well on the Monday. So there's a whole weekend of events. I think the world's attention will be on the UK and the coronation. And for us in the UK, it's a real moment of celebration.
Back to the Queen consort, right? She will be the queens of the UK. In the report about her crown, with the old crown, that's a new, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
So it's a crown that has been used in coronations before. So I think in the past, sometimes a queen or a consort has had a new crown made for them, but she is using an old one, so it will have historical values, and obviously it's reusing a crown that's already been used. I think that's important, because for King Charles, sustainability and environmental protection are really key issues. He's spent his entire life talking about the need for environmental protection and conservation. So having a sustainable service as much as possible, and using some of the historical regalia for the service is something he was very keen to do.